This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. We're diving into Plato's Republic, a work that's been shaping political thought for millennia. It's surprisingly relevant, even today.
Indeed. Plato's exploration of justice, the ideal state, and the nature of the good are timeless questions.
But how do these ancient ideas translate to our modern world, specifically our 21st century democracies?
That's the crux of it, yeah. Plato's criticisms of democracy, while harsh, offer valuable insights into the challenges we face.
Let's unpack some of those challenges, starting with Plato's concept of justice. Plato defines justice as each part of society fulfilling its proper role. How does that resonate with modern democratic ideals?
It speaks to the importance of a well-functioning system of checks and balances. Each branch of government, like each class in Plato's ideal state, needs to operate effectively within its defined limits.
Right, so a breakdown of those checks and balances, a failure of any one part to do its job, could be seen as a form of injustice?
Precisely. Think of corruption, political gridlock, or the erosion of trust in institutions. These are all manifestations of injustice in Plato's sense.
And what about Plato's emphasis on the importance of education in creating a just society?
Crucial. Plato believed education was key to cultivating virtuous citizens who understood their roles and responsibilities. This translates to the need for civic education today, fostering informed and engaged citizens.
But Plato's ideal education was quite elitist, wasn't it? Not exactly accessible to all.
True, his system was hierarchical, but the underlying principle, the importance of cultivating virtue and reason, remains relevant. We need to strive for a more inclusive system that promotes critical thinking and civic responsibility for all.
Plato's most radical idea is the Philosopher-King, a leader guided by reason and wisdom, not power or self-interest. Is that a realistic goal?
Perhaps not a literal philosopher-king, but the ideal points to the importance of ethical leadership. We need leaders who prioritize the common good over personal gain, who are guided by reason and evidence, not populism or ideology.
But isn't the very idea of a philosopher-king inherently undemocratic? It suggests an elite ruling class.
It's a tension, I see. Democracy values equality, but it also needs competent leadership. The challenge is to find a balance between these two ideals, ensuring that leaders are both accountable and effective.
Plato's concern about the dangers of unchecked democracy seems particularly relevant today, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Plato saw democracy's potential for instability and the rise of demagoguery. We see echoes of this in the rise of populism and the spread of misinformation in many modern democracies.
So Plato's warnings about the dangers of unchecked freedom and the potential for tyranny are still relevant?
Yes, his description of the degeneration of states, from aristocracy to timocracy, oligarchy, democracy, and finally tyranny, can be seen as a cautionary tale about the cyclical nature of political systems.
And how does that apply to our current political climate, the increasing polarization we see?
Plato's model suggests that extreme political polarization can lead to instability and even authoritarianism. The breakdown of consensus and the rise of extreme factions mirror his description of the decline of democracy.
So the tyrannical man could be seen as a metaphor for the dangers of unchecked populism and the erosion of democratic norms?
Precisely. The tyrannical man, driven by insatiable desires and a disregard for reason, is a warning against the dangers of leaders who prioritize power and personal gain over the well-being of their citizens.
Plato's emphasis on the importance of moderation and balance seems particularly relevant in our current political climate. Plato's advocacy for community of property and family is, to put it mildly, controversial. How can we interpret that in a modern context?
It's not about literal communism, but about prioritizing the common good. It speaks to the need for social safety nets, for policies that address inequality and promote social cohesion.
But isn't the individual's right to private property a cornerstone of modern liberal democracies?
It is, but Plato's ideas challenge us to consider the extent to which individual rights should be balanced against the needs of the community. How can we ensure that the pursuit of individual wealth doesn't undermine the common good?
Plato's emphasis on the importance of unity and harmony in the state is still relevant, isn't it? Especially in a world increasingly fractured by social and political divisions.
Absolutely. His vision of a harmonious society where citizens share common values and goals remains a powerful aspiration. The challenge is to find ways to achieve this harmony without sacrificing individual liberty.
The allegory of the cave is one of Plato's most famous and enduring images. How does it apply to modern society?
It's a powerful metaphor for the challenges of achieving enlightenment and escaping from ignorance. In our age of misinformation and echo chambers, many people are trapped in a cave of their own making, unable to see the truth.
So the shadows on the wall represent the distorted realities presented by media, social media, and propaganda?
Exactly. The cave represents the limitations of our perception, our tendency to accept superficial explanations rather than seeking deeper understanding.
And the journey out of the cave represents the pursuit of knowledge and truth? The struggle to overcome our biases and prejudices?
Precisely. It's a call for critical thinking, for questioning assumptions, and for seeking out diverse perspectives. It's a reminder that the pursuit of truth is a lifelong journey, not a destination.
The allegory also highlights the resistance to enlightenment, the hostility towards those who seek to expose the truth. Plato's critique of the arts, particularly imitative arts like poetry and drama, is another controversial aspect of his philosophy. How relevant is this today?
Plato's concern was that art could stir up emotions and distract from reason. This resonates with concerns about the influence of sensationalist media and entertainment in modern society.
But isn't art also a powerful tool for social and political change? A way of challenging injustice and promoting critical thinking?
It can be, but Plato's cautionary tale reminds us to be mindful of the potential for art to manipulate emotions and distract from rational discourse. We need to be critical consumers of art and media, aware of their potential to shape our perceptions.
Plato's ideal state seems to prioritize reason and order above all else. Is that a realistic or desirable goal for a modern democracy?
It's a complex question. Reason and order are essential for a functioning society, but they shouldn't come at the expense of individual liberty and creativity. The challenge is to find a balance between these competing values.
Plato's belief in the immortality of the soul is a significant element of his philosophy. How does this relate to his political thought?
The belief in immortality provides a framework for ethical action. If the soul is immortal, then our actions have lasting consequences, extending beyond this life. This reinforces the importance of striving for justice and virtue.
So the vision of a future life, with rewards and punishments, serves as a powerful incentive for ethical behavior?
Exactly. It's a powerful motivator, though the specific details of Plato's vision are, of course, open to interpretation. The core idea is that our choices matter, not just in this life, but beyond.
Plato's Republic is a complex and challenging work, but its themes continue to resonate with us today. Its enduring relevance lies in its exploration of fundamental questions about justice, leadership, and the nature of the good life. That was a great discussion. Thank you.